For thousands of years, the Bedouin have made their home in the biblical wilderness of the Sinai and Negev deserts. The tribes survive by raising herds of sheep, goats and camels. But some Bedouin are now embracing a different trade, smuggling drugs and prostitutes from Egypt into Israel. Hunting the Bedouin smugglers is a new unit of Israeli border police. It's enlisted the help of some of Israel's own Bedouin citizens to act as trackers. These troops specialise in camouflage, digging graves in the desert sand where they lie in wait for the smugglers for up to 36 hours. It's a job that demands great patience and stamina. With darkness about to fall, it's time for the camouflage unit to move into position for a long night of waiting. Chief Superintendent Amnon Ziv runs anti-smuggling operations on the Israeli side of the border. In the past year, his team has caught 130 prostitutes and more than 40 tons of drugs. Tonight he has fresh information which could crack one of the smuggling rings.
יש לנו מידע על כניסה של כמעט 4 טון טבק, 4 טון סמים וגם נשים שצריכות להיכנס הלילה בשלוש מקומות שונים.
Relying on night vision goggles to move undetected through the pitch black, Chief Superintendent Ziv and his team head to one of the ambush sites. At the same time, the women who have managed to slip over the border are plying their trade on the streets of Tel Aviv. In contrast to the religious atmosphere of Jerusalem, Tel Aviv is a secular and somewhat seedy metropolis with bars, nightclubs and brothels. Nearly all of these women have been purchased over the internet by Israeli crime gangs who they suspect of having links to the Russian mafia. The going rate is between $5,000 and $10,000.
I can imagine that in these centuries there is people that are slaves. They are buying them with money. You know, they're making them a test. If you got blue eyes, I will pay more money. If you're tallest, I will pay more money. If you're ugly, I will pay less money.
About once a week, foreign prostitutes are brought into Superintendent Levy's custody centre to wait for deportation. One of them is Marusha. The 23-year-old Russian describes how she flew from Moscow to Egypt after agreeing to work as a prostitute in Israel.
Это в Египте. Села, потом сели на автобус, доехали там до определенного места, где было назначено. Все, потом дальше джип, бедуины. Они уже переправили. Не жалею, меньше месяца я отрабатывала дорогу.
Marusha says she was eventually taken to Tel Aviv, where she was told to work out of the city's central bus station. She slept with up to 20 men a day.
Я получала 20 шекелей сначала с работы, потом на большую переводили. И, в принципе, все чаевые, которые оставлялись, это все было мое.
Most of these women come from the former Soviet Union, and human rights groups estimate that there are up to 7,000 sex slaves still in Israel. Despite being given greater powers of search and arrest, the Israeli police believe the crime gangs are winning the battle.
What we are doing here now in the police, we're making them that we're catching those girls and sending them back. It's hurt them, but I believe that they will never stop because it's a lot of money. It's like drugs. It's in even more than drugs.
While the Israeli crime gangs earn millions, the Bedouin smugglers make relatively little and risk a lot. Bedouin tribesman Yid Kasha admits he knows about the smuggling operations, but he turns a blind eye to the rackets.
הבדואים המבריחים הם מבריחים לא לפגוע כאילו בביטחון, כאילו מבריחים דברים שכאילו מסמים וכל הדברים שלא לפגוע בביטחון של המדינה. הבדואים במיוחד אני מדבר על הבדואים שלנו.
The smugglers are an ongoing headache for Amnon Ziv. This night he's been told of 3 separate smuggling attempts, but his team has nothing to show for the hours spent waiting in the desert cold. Chief Superintendent Ziv acknowledges that he's up against a wily enemy.
זה יותר קשה, אבל זה יותר יקר, זה הרבה יותר כסף. הם מקבלים על זה, הרווח הכלכלי שלהם על הנשים הוא הרבה יותר מסמים.
Faced with Palestinian terrorism, Israel has developed some of the most sophisticated border defences in the world. But this desert wilderness is proving more difficult to police than the borders with the West Bank or Gaza Strip. And hundreds of young women are ready to risk this desert crossing despite the uncertain future that awaits them inside Israel. For 23-year-old Marusha, her life as a prostitute in Israel was a much better choice than staying in Russia.
Мне, я говорю, то, что мне сразу рассказали, сколько мне будут платить еще в России, это мне сразу сказали. Сколько мне будут платить, как я буду работать, это мне все сразу сказали. Да, первый месяц я отрабатывала дорогу. Это все девочки, так практически все, кто так едет, отрабатывают те деньги, за которые их сюда привезли. Я даже не месяц, я меньше месяца. Я просто говорю, я вам говорю, что я попала к очень хорошим людям, и я не жалею. Меньше месяца я отрабатывала дорогу. Потом меня перевели на... Потом меня